Operation Raise the Colours. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but the English flag, or in some cases the Union flag, is being flown on streets up and down the country, absolutely everywhere. And it is a beautiful sight to behold. In fact, I think this is nothing short of a genius tactical rebellion by the English people, but not everything is so rosy, because some of the people putting flags up in the street are now being seriously attacked. Yeah, let's talk about it. If you're Italian or American or Polish, you probably look at this and think, so what? Everywhere I go in Poland or Italy or America, I see my own country's
I mean, yeah, it's pretty regular here.
flag. No big deal. Except it is a big deal in England, because in England we don't fly our flag. We've been told, in fact, not even told, we've been gaslit for decades into thinking that we should be ashamed of our own flag, of our own history, of our own heritage, of our own culture. And if you don't believe me, take a listen to this.
Well, I think this is the problem. It's not that the far right have co-opted the flag. It's the fact that we don't seem to understand what this country is and the history of these symbols. So both of these flags which you've displayed here, those are the flags which flew on ships which enslaved my ancestors. Those are the flags which the British Army marched into places like India, Pakistan, Bengal, Africa, and colonized 25% of them.
Isn't his people are the one who sold his people to the Brits?
The world. The reason the far right picks
Because
up
they
these
had
flags
nothing
has
else to sell?
consistently, since the 60s, 70s, since my parents' generation,
So you sell the people?
is because these flags represent the racism which they are putting out into the world.
Oh my God, it's so boring. We get it. You don't like the English flag. You don't
And white people were not the one who invented the slavery.
like English history, and it's
Like we came to Africa and there was slavery already there. We just adapted.
not much of a
And we decided to get rid of it, but in Africa they still have the slavery in some countries. Like, come on, man.
leap to assume you also don't like the English people.
It's a dead
Is the
topic.
tactically genius part of this movement, because it's forced people like Kehinde to say the quiet part out loud. They really don't like us, and this shouldn't surprise anyone. Kehinde
Like
Andrews
every
wrote
race was a slave owner. Like everybody was doing slavery back in those days.
the book called The Psych.
And the white people was not the first one. The psychosis of whiteness. What?
Psychosis of whiteness.
What is
And then
this
he has
mess?
the gall to go on live TV and lecture us all about racism. Imagine if I'd written a book called The Psychosis of Blackness. Yeah, so listen, Kehinde, if you don't like it here, if you don't like our history, our flag, our people, then leave, because nobody will miss you. Go. I mentioned at the start of this video that it looks like some of the guys putting flags up are now being attacked whilst they do it. A few nights ago in York, the police were called to an altercation between some allegedly Pakistani men and some English guys who were
I mean, technically, they're not living because they are technically invaders. Pretty
flagging
much.
their local area. Now, I don't know the full details of that story, but it just
They're
doesn't
just
really
invading.
surprise me. And then last night, apparently one guy had a petrol bomb thrown at him whilst he was in his car.
Holy.
Yeah.
Move your car, bro. Move your car. Fucking petrol bombed. Move the car, bro. Putting flags up, got petrol bombed.
Crazy.
Why are people such cowards using weapons? Fucking cowards. Bastards, mate. What do you think about this, mate? No comment. No comment?
No, cool. I mean, yeah, police is trying to stay neutral, don't get involved in politics, you know, it kind of... In every country, police does this.
Impartial, he's just been petrol bombed.
At least they trying, you know.
Hey,
Unless there's gonna be like a revolution and they're gonna need to pick the side at that point, right?
hey, out. That's filthy. Out. Annie. Gonna have to film that again now.
But if there's no
Let's try that
revolution,
again.
so
So I
they're just following the orders.
show you that clip just because I know that even though the guy did get a little bit hurt, he's in the care of the police and the paramedics, so he's going to be completely fine, right? He's going to make a full recovery. No. I think the moral of the story here is if you're going to go out flagging your local area, go with friends. Don't just be an easy target for people who want to give you trouble, who want to give you grief, right? Go with some friends. There is an interesting part of that clip as well. Towards the end of it, the police officer says, oh, we're impartial, we're impartial. Yeah, but you're not, are you? Because I've seen footage of you actively trying to stop people putting these flags up.
Hey, they're trying to wrestle us. Hey, We're wrestling with the ladders with the police. Go on, Belli! Fucking one of the Salford boys! Go on, Belli! Yeah! Wow. Fucking quality, that's one of my mates, that. He said, what? Yeah! Good!
Now, for me, I find the psychology of everything that's happening in
Yeah, police is scared when it comes to the numbers. If they outnumber, they're scared.
Britain at the moment really fascinating. And what you see here is a police officer trying to stop a guy who's completely exposed, he can easily be identified, from putting a flag up. And the guy says, no, I'm still going to do it. That's a real sign of psychological defiance, and I think you can really learn something about the mood of the country, or at least large groups of the country, by looking at these localized incidents. To me, that's really interesting. Maybe to you, that's really boring. Maybe that's one tiny little event that happened in the middle of nowhere. I find it interesting. Anyway, enough armchair psychology. Let's check in with the BBC and look at how they're coping with all of this. Roundabouts vandalised to look like St George's flags. Okay, meanwhile, rainbow zebra crossings appear in resorts. Interesting. Now, look.
I mean, that's a legit definition of a narrative.
I understand that there is a salient difference between these two events. The rainbow zebra crossings were no doubt approved by the council, whereas a proud Englishman painting the flag of St George on the roundabout, that was not approved. And yet ultimately, they are the exact same action. But the BBC has chosen to criminalise the Englishman using their language and their words. They could have just as easily written English flag painted on roundabout, but they chose not to. And so you can just get a sense through the language that the author is using that they hold contempt for the English flag and the English people. Whilst technically what they're saying by the letter of the law is probably true, it's ultimately a completely harmless act. We know that, right? It's not going to do any damage. It's not going to stop anyone going around the roundabout, is it? Of course it isn't. Let's put this all into a little bit of perspective, because yes, right now people are flying the flag of St George up and down the country. But for a very long time, people have been flying a different flag across England, the Palestinian flag. And when I talk about this, I'm not making a point about Israel or Palestine, because I actually don't care. I'm an Englishman, this is England, and Israel and Palestine are not in England. I don't care. My point is about the flags and the response that the police and the council...
It's pretty much the logical majority. They just don't care about...
had to
It's a different country.
They did nothing. They made no effort to intervene. They didn't take any of the flags down. Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's worse than that. One Scottish guy made a video complaining that his entire street was plastered with these Palestinian flags, and the police came to his house and arrested him at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even joking. Here is the video that got this man arrested.
Just come along Bethnal Green Road this morning, and this is the kind of that's going on. Yeah. So there's a look at this. Yeah, you see it? And then over here at this one, we've got this crap going on as well. Yeah. And then we come along to this pole here.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy that you can replace national flags with the flags of a complete foreign nations. Like it's an intervention or...
And they've done the same crap here as well. Look at that.
Like I said,
Treason.
that video had the guy arrested at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now that was a year ago, and I think the mood of the country and in fact the mood of policing has changed since then. And the reason it's changed is because the English people started to stand up for themselves. They started to say, no more will we just be bullied and thrown around at will, okay? We're gonna start fighting for our own existence. And that's why the mood towards us has changed, why it's softened, because we're finally showing a bit of goddamn strength. This is England, we are England.
Again, September 13, we'll see what's going to be happening there.
If we want to fly our flag, we have every right to do so. Now, some people will want to say that this is an insignificant thing, but I really don't think it is. As I said at the start of this video, I think it's really clever. It's forced our opponents to make a whole bunch of errors. The first style of error that we saw with Kehinde Andrews is when people have to come out and say, I don't like you, I don't like your history, I don't like your culture, I don't like your flag. Okay, so now they're just exposed, and we look at that and we go, okay, well, at least I know what you don't like, and it's me, so I guess I also don't like you back. The other style of error is the one that Keir Starmer has made, because Keir Starmer's had to come out and say, oh, I support this. I like seeing the flag of St George flying all over England. Does he really? I suspect not. But he has to say it. He's the Prime Minister. How can he not say that he wants to see the flag of England flying in England? And yet some of the people who vote Labour, right, are going to be quite angry about that. Some of the radical leftists are going to be really unhappy with what's going on here with the flag flying everywhere. So that's another forced error. And finally, the councils and the police who are trying to stop these flags going up, look, that is going to push more and more people to the right wing. They're going to be radicalised by that because they're going to look at it and they're going to just think to themselves, why am I not allowed to fly the flag of St. George, my own nation's flag, in my own nation? That's absolutely ridiculous. That makes no sense. And then they're going to start to understand it. They're going to start to look at it and go, there really is a two-tier system, isn't there? Because Palestinian flags are allowed to fly everywhere, but the flag of St. George is not. So yeah, I think this is very, very...
I mean, police is trying to stay neutral, but you know, they getting the orders from supervisors, and if you don't obey, you get fired, and you know, what else you do with your job.
Clever. To those who are, you know...
But if there's gonna be some revolution, you know, that's the time when they're gonna have to choose the side, and eventually they're gonna choose the side.
Determined to go out and put flags up. It's up to you if you decide to do that or not. I obviously can't recommend that you do that. But if you are going to do it, please try and do it in as safer way as possible. Take some friends with you so that if there's someone else about and they're not happy with your actions, at least you're not a really easy target. And also to make sure that, you know, you've got someone to hold the ladder for you. Just don't hurt yourself. Don't get yourself hurt. Try and avoid confrontation. But yeah, I think it's fantastic to see the flag of St. George everywhere. I absolutely love it. I really, really do. And it means more to me as an Englishman than seeing the Union flag everywhere. Seeing the flag of St. George, because that's the one that was really stripped away from us, pulled away from our identity as Englishmen, right? It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Oh, by the way, I've got a new microphone. Hopefully the audio is not too bad. I will be going back to the old microphone.
So yeah, take care and then stay safe. September 13th.